And speaking of success, I think we have our first guest of the year, Chris.
Yeah, that's a great transition with success as we bring in the Choctaw head coach of the Lady Jackets, Coach Lindsey Mudgett. Coach, thank you so much for joining us and being the first guest on the High School Huddle softball show.
Well, pleasure's all mine. It's definitely an honor for you guys to have me.
Man, we caught you at the right time. You're a perfect 1-0 on the year. Hopefully a whole lot more coming, but off to a good start. And my first question, how are you guys handling this deadgum summer heat?
Man, I'll tell you this, it is brutal, especially now that pretty much, especially in 6A, all you play on is turf. And so that amplifies all the heat too as well. But it's definitely been brutal. We've been trying to go kind of early in the mornings to try and beat the heat, but now that season started, there's really no way to avoid it. So just a lot of hydration, preparation, and keeping an eye on the girls. But it is hot, for sure.
Your game yesterday, or against Edmond North, was a little bit later. Was that by design, or is it, you usually play at 5 when it cools off, or are you typically a 6:30 start game?
No, I mean, we started later for Edmond North because we had our middle school that played too as well. Edmond North turf fields weren't done. All the Edmond schools, are getting turf. And so their field wasn't yet completed. And so we had to kind of maneuver some things around. Middle school was playing at home. And so we just came on the back side of them and started at 6. But it was nice. It did make for kind of a more pleasant, more evening for us to get out there and compete.
Of course, you've been in Choctaw since 2015, won tons of ball games. We'll get into all that fun stuff. But, boy, Choctaw has really been a lot of success athletic-wise with Corbin at football, Coach Hawk at baseball, of course, you at softball. A lot of great things happening at Choctaw.
Yeah, I've actually been here since 14. That was my first fast pitch season. Man, time flies. But seeing it grow out here so fast, so quick, has been something really fun to be a part of. We have a great community base that really supports not only a sports program, but just extracurricular activities in general. And great, administration that follows along with that, and definitely been blessed being here. Great group of coaches to be working alongside. We definitely push each other, challenge each other, and I think the competitive part, it's like, well, you're winning, so I think I have to win too, and so we kind of iron sharpens iron on that. So,
and the facilities are getting better and better, like a lot of schools are, but that's happening at Choctaw as well.
Yeah, our brand new indoor facility, the 60-yard indoor football field, just got open with a brand new. The weight room is just gorgeous. It has Coach Corbin done a really good job of designing that, and it has all the perks, all the little detail. It's really pretty. And the football team, they just moved in a couple of weeks ago. And then we're getting a new gym and a brand new high school. It's pretty cool to be a part of. Beautiful campus, and excited to see where it takes us.
Lindsey, what I want to know is this, and that we've known each other for forever, since forever, but do your girls know who you are and how good you were at softball?
When I first got here, everyone kind of knew my name. And now I'm getting old. I'm getting old. And so definitely a big has been, but, I really try to intertwine some of my experiences, and not just my experiences, but the people that I was blessed to kind of grow up around, be mentored by, obviously be coached by, and kind of intertwine it with a lot of the things that I do today.
How much David Smith do you have in you?
Our program.
How much Coach Smith do you have in you?
Man, that's my big sister. I had Coach Cook and Coach Acord. And
okay, so you
Coach Gaylord a little bit, and then you can't forget my dad.
Sure.
Yeah. Coach Smith was already gone now. Yeah.
So talk about that, just coming from small school Davenport.
So,
you talk a lot about, especially in today's world with the transfer portal and all this stuff, and people being able to have the one move, and just talk about, if you can play, you're going to be found. From Davenport, Oklahoma, you were successful at OU, your sister at UCO. Your other sister played collegiately. Just talk a little bit about that, if you would.
Yeah, I'm definitely a hometown girl, small town girl, small town family. it was, man, just kind of crazy how Coach Gasso found me, and came along. One of the the things that I remember is, she came along and watched me in the state finals basketball game, and that was a big part of when she kind of figured out who I was and my name. And I'll never forget that, just because so many people now hound just one sport athletes, and multi-sport athletes. I got 3 boys of my own, and just being an all-around athlete just has so many benefits to it, that we can go into another time, but you can talk about that stuff. And that was one thing that I loved about being in a small town, just the community base. That's one thing that brought me here to Choctaw, especially, when I came here in 2014, was that, yeah, 6A program, but small town feel to it, small town community. Definitely one that looks after your family, your kids. They know who you are. And that was just a big perk for me. I thought the high school experience I had, not everyone gets to have. Won a lot, very fortunate to have such amazing coaches in my life that mentored me. And that's a big part of why I wanted to go high school. All through college, under Coach Gasso, I thought I wanted to coach collegiate ball. I thought I wanted to work with elite athletes, and the more and more I kind of progressed, the more and more I wanted to get into that development stage and bring female athletes the opportunity that I had, and that I was blessed with at Devonport. And not every program's ran like that. Not every athlete has that experience. But I hope and pray my boys get to experience something very similar to what I had in high school. And that stuff is very hard and difficult to find anymore. The loyalty that you talk about in a small town, or just in a community in general. Whether it's a big school or a little school, with the open portal that you have, and all the transferring. I think that's just part of our society now. That's kind of where we're at. I think in the workforce, as well as collegiate sports and in high school, I do think there's a balance to it, and there's a healthy way to go about it. Ultimately, families got to do what's best for their families and for their kid. But when you hang with something, when you build something, there's nothing that can replace that. No matter how many times you jump around. The big saying, the grass isn't always greener on the other side. And I truly believe that. And it's hard. People talk about how it's difficult to build a program, and it is. It's difficult to build winning and success, and there's a lot of things that go behind it. But I think what I've experienced as a coach is that it's actually harder to sustain it and keep it rolling, especially in kind of the society that we live in now. It's hard to keep. It's a big task.
Speak with Choctaw head coach of the Lady Jackets softball program, Lindsey Mudgett. Since coming into high school athletics, take the portal thing off to the side. What has been some of the biggest changes that you've seen in high school softball since becoming a coach? These players are getting bigger and stronger seems like every year.
Absolutely. I think that's just the training. Kids start at such a young age anymore, specializing, and that is a big part of their talent today that you see. Kids are bigger, faster, stronger, and it's just because of the resources they have. When I was in high school, man, I would have loved to have a weight room that we have now. I would have loved to have, honestly, a batting cage, or a locker room, if that. But it's just the resources. It's just the opportunity that they're presented with. And, that's a big thing that we talk about here in our program is every day is an opportunity to be great. Every day is an opportunity to get better and to learn and grow. And I think that that's the biggest difference now. That's why you see, whether they're female athletes or male athletes, they're bigger, faster, stronger. It's just because the sports in itself has evolved. You see it in collegiate athletics as well. And it's trickling down into the high school athletics. I think it's really cool to see, because I think it brings a lot more success a little bit earlier in their life. But the biggest thing that I think is maybe hindering a little bit is that we're trying to get these kids to specialize on one sport, way too early, and kind of put them in a box. And that really, I think in the long run, that really causes quicker injury. It causes burnout, things like that big subjects that we talk about now, especially in high school sports. And that's kind of unfortunate. And so I think we're trying to still kind of find the balance. But you're right. It's pretty amazing how our sports and just our athletes in general are just, man, they're evolving. It's pretty cool to watch.
Well, go ahead.
I was thinking, big schools like Choctaw, if you're from Pecola, Oklahoma, you kind of stick out as far as playing sports, but like these big schools like Choctaw, I always feel like sometimes some kids mature at different ages. Like I know there was a guy that was horrible in junior high, but once he hit his sophomore year, he, grew and got big. It seems like maybe I'm wrong, but big schools, those young athletes maybe get lost at a certain time, and then they don't have the success. And so you have the stud sophomore, the stud senior in front of them, and I don't want to say never get a chance, because it's not a coach's fault. It's just a numbers game sometimes.
No, you're absolutely right. Obviously, the bigger pool that you have to pull from, the bigger competition, more competition you're going to have. Yeah. But that's what you see. You see, I think you can see it in any, size of school. But you definitely can see, we'll have kids come through here and they just haven't reached like maturity level yet, and it's not because they're a bad player. It's not because of this or that. It's just strictly, they haven't matured. Their body hasn't matured to enable them to be as successful as maybe their buddy to the left or right. It is unfortunate. And I do think that is one of the benefits of the transfer, portal. I don't think all of it is bad. Even, a big loyal person that comes from a small town, mentality, is because, like at the end of the day, families do have to do what's best for them and their kid. You only get one high school, career. There's no going back and redoing it. And so that is cool. If you find yourself or you find your kid that maybe it's just not a right fit for you. Not every program's for every kid out there or every family. And it just gives them an opportunity to kind of have a little leeway to maybe find a better place for them to be successful at. And, not saying that in a negative way, but just, it just kind of opens up opportunity, because that is definitely something that you are seeing.
It's a different world.
So talk about right quick, a couple things here. First off, talk about your neighbors to the west, Mustang, and their prowess that they've had in the past couple seasons. And
Jeez,
she knew it was coming, but that's that's. But 6A is a very competitive class, and just talk about what you're looking at this season as far as who are the teams to beat in 6A besides Choctaw, obviously.
Yeah, one, you gotta respect teams that win and win consistently, and obviously Mustang does that, and we enjoy playing competition, and we enjoy playing the best out there, and that's kind of our mentality. We really don't care who it is, what class it is, but if they're going to challenge us, like we want to be on the field with them. And 6A had a lot of turnover from last year, in the sense of last year it was a really big senior class, very competitive senior class, a lot of great ball players. And we had you'll laugh at this, Tony, but my dad just walked in.
Hi, Mike.
Yeah, he's in it, but like
get Mike a screenshot.
And so I was giving him the hold on.
Yeah.
And but yeah, he I there's just it's a really big class. And so I do think that this year 6A will, in a sense, be a little bit wide open, with a lot of less experience on the field than probably in the past. Younger players stepping up. We played more the other day. They looked really, really strong, really good. Of course, they're always in the runnings for it. Piedmont, they have a dang army out there. They get so many kids out, and Coach Coleman does such a great job out there. And then, you can't rule out your Emma Memorials, Owasso, BA. It's still going to be a very strong 6A. 6A is really strong, especially, when you get into the top 12, a lot of competition. And, but yeah, we worry about us. Honestly, we focus about us. and what we can do, our full potential. We worry about what we can bring, and really try and stick to our strengths and what we're really, really good at. And then see where that takes us, and that's why I love high school softball, is because every year it's like a puzzle piece that you have to, put together. I always tell the girls it's easy to go out and pick girls and coach a lot of talent. It's easy to coach talent. And that's not always the case in high school. Sometimes you really have to develop kids majority of the time, and do all those little things right. And that's something that I love doing. I love developing leaders. I love, seeing them go from, their freshman year and how far along they've come their senior year. And we hope, obviously, if we're doing it the right way, success and wins come along the way. But that's just kind of my passion at heart, is just watching them grow through the game and understanding how big of a pipeline this game can be for them and what it can bring to their life.
Few more minutes here with Choctaw head coach Lindsey Mudgett of the Yellow Jacket softball program. Now, when you talk football with the East Side schools, they'd love to tell you that they've won every state championship since 1995, and so we have to go, yeah, on the West Side, yeah, you're right. However, softball, it's been quite a run. There's a couple of years I look back on Fast Bench where East Side school has snuck in there, but I mean, your regular season schedule matches up with a lot of state tournament, state championship type games.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, like we want every single game to be very much similar to what a state tournament type of game would be. If it's not, it really isn't making us any better. And so, even if we take losses here and there, I firmly believe that the only way that you learn and get better is taking failure and growing and learning from it. And so we challenge ourselves. We lost 7 seniors last year. Really big, probably the most powerful group of seniors that I've lost since I've been here. Great group of kids, the most successful senior class that has ever come through Choctaw. And it's kind of been felt a little bit here, like just new leaders, new faces, new voices. And these girls, man, they just been up for the challenge. And so it's been kind of new, refreshing, but at the same time, just anticipating to see, what it's going to be like, what it's going to feel like. And then who's going to step up, and that's kind of the fun part of it. And so
it's that puzzle piece you were talking about, right?
West Side. Yeah, absolutely. And West Side always brings really good softball. But you can never rule out the East Side. I mean, they have, Coach King and Coach Shane out there at Owasso. They always put really, really good teams together. They've been in a long time, and they have a lot of experience in coaching, been real successful. So,
last question for me, and I saw you holding the sticker with the 300 number on there. Give me one regular season. I don't want a state tournament. I don't want a regional. I want one regular season game that just pops right at you.
Man, no regional or no
regional, no state
tournament, just
nope.
a regular.
Those are easy, Coach.
Yeah, I will have to say one of the most, and I think as a fan, it would have been a phenomenal game to be a part of and watch. I want to say maybe it was, not last year, so 2 years ago, we played Owasso here. They were in our district. We went 9 innings and ended up pulling that game off. And that was a really big game. I mean, obviously that's pretty recent. I've been blessed with some really good players, some great parents and support, and along with that has become, obviously just incredible games. And all my coaches, staff, people that have come, gone, and moved on and stuff. A lot of my former athletes are either coming back to coach with me, or they're, moving on to coach themselves, which is so cool to see. And I love that they're having that presence, that female present in a female sport. And I really think that stuff is speaks volume, does.
Where was win number 1 at?
For Choctaw, like for me, when I got here?
Career victory number 1.
I have no idea.
Oh, no.
I have no idea. I couldn't tell you.
I bet your dad could.
I
bet your dad can.
Maybe so. He does have a better memory than me. I mean, he remembers everything. But no, I couldn't even tell you. I'd have to think about it. I mean, I've had 3 kids, mama brains, that fog brain.
happens.
Last thing for me right quick, Lindsey, is talk about just very quickly the pride that you have with 2 sisters that are also head coaches for fast pitch high school softball with Nikki at Cushing and Allie at Stroud.
Yeah, I really don't know how our husbands deal with it, honestly, and how my mom and dad deal with it, because, public education in general is tough to be in. And then you put, the head coaching, title next to it. It definitely makes it challenging. But man, it's just always been in our blood. My grandpa was always one that had athletics, tied into him. And then my dad always coaching us throughout our career. I mean, he won 13 state titles.
Sure.
A lot of people, and he never got paid a dime. He just done it because he loved it, and his kids were involved in it. And just it is though. It's pretty cool to see. I was hoping that I'd have a daughter of my own so I could coach one day. But love watching my nieces and getting to kind of be a part of their life and play a different role to them. As they're going through female sports and athletics and. But God blessed me with 3 boys, gives my husband, he loves to coach it himself. And so it gives him an avenue to do that on the side. And, they bless, I guess I don't need a girl because I always have about 30 girls that I feel like, I take care of pretty well. And so, it allows me to be mom, which is kind of nice too. So, but it's pretty incredible what softball, especially Oklahoma softball in general, high school, and obviously collegiate softball has been to my family. The passion that we've had for it, and man, where it's taken us in life. It's definitely a vessel that God's been using us through, and we definitely don't take it for granted.
Well, Lindsey, best of luck. I know you're going to finish the week out at the Chisholm Trail tournament over there at Festival over in Huddle. Might be a team called Mustang over there that you'll see. So you get an early schedule challenge for your crew. Man, it's so nice to meet you and visit with you. And I wish nothing you and your program the best of luck this year. And getting to the state tournament's not been an issue for you guys, so continue that streak. I know that's always the goal, to get to the tournament and to win it. But congratulations on 300 victories as well.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Nice to meet you, Chris. Thank you guys for having me on.
Make sure you tell everybody about the show.
I will. Absolutely. Share.
Thanks, Lindsey. I appreciate it.
All right. See ya.
Head coach of the Choctaw Yellowjackets, Lindsey Mudgett, and you can tell why her team has been in 5 or 6 straight state tournaments and have gotten so close. Now, they won the slow pitch a couple years ago, but so close.
She's had some weird scenarios happen in these games that have just been like, did that really just happen moments? And we could have sat here for another 2 hours talking about some of those situations where a base running blunder here, just a fluke freak thing happened, but she'll crack the nut one of these days and pick up a fast pitch one here, maybe sooner than later.